Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, and welcome back to more Endless Scrap Mechanic. So this week we've been spending a lot of time checking out the Buoyancy Mod, mainly the water, but today, guys, it is time to check out the Helium Mod! Haha! Oh man. Okay. But as you guys could see, those balloons naturally wanted to go up, straight up to the sky, guys, because the Helium Mod does just that. It simulates helium, so if you put it on anything and you put an activator on it, it is going to start rising up. So, if you can see over in that corner there, I have a little chain. We're going to be sticking stuff to that and making it float. I think we're just going to send a whole bunch of stuff floating off into the air anyway. And behind me here, I also have a very beautiful hot air balloon that we're going to fly around in as well. And I think we're just going to have a little bit more fun with the Helium Mod, building a couple things and just checking it all out. So, let's get into it. Alright, so to start this video off, I'm just going to quickly show you guys what the Helium Mod is all about. So we have two blocks in our inventory right now. We have the Helium block itself, so you can see this is the actual block that will try and rise up to the skybox. And then we also have this one right here, guys. This is the Helium Activator. So just like the water mod, you have to put an activator onto your creation for the helium blocks to take effect. So if we actually just kind of shave this down, this is probably one of my favorite things to do with this mod, is to just drop a big block of helium down and then pop an activator on it, and look at it go. Look at it go. It's just floating up to the sky now. And it's gone. I mean, there's nothing we can do. That thing is just totally gone. So, I mean, I was kind of thinking, actually, what kind of ridiculous things could we really do with the Helium Mod as far as, like, sending up stuff into the sky goes? So what I'm thinking is, what if we do it like this, actually? I'm going to chop this into some blocks just like so. Alright, there we go. And so one after the other, I'm just going to put an activator on each little chunk of helium here, and we're gonna see what happens. So let's just pop one there, there, and there. Okay, I was trying to go as quick as I can. And there they go, guys. Look at that. We have just more helium up in the atmosphere now. So, I mean, there's a few applicable things with this mod, of course. Like, right here, guys, I have this hot air balloon, which you can see is actually just perfectly buoyant, and it's just floating in the air right now. And you can make silly stuff like balloons over here, which I have a really good idea for some balloons, actually. And over here, I mean, this is just kind of like my testing zone. So what I ended up doing was taking a whole bunch of bearings and some pipe elbows and making a very long chain. So that way I could actually stick stuff like helium to the actual thing like this. And okay, hold on here. It's actually going to get kind of stuck on itself. Maybe if we just force it with a little more helium. Alright, there is a kink in the chain. Can we get rid of that kink? Uh-oh, I don't know what is happening right now. Alright, so my chain is all caught up. But look at this, guys. We have helium trapped to a chain. It cannot escape. Maybe if we just put more helium, it will eventually just pull the chain apart, maybe? I don't know. I think there is no center of gravity on this thing. Oh boy, okay, so I didn't really plan much ahead for this one here, guys. This is just kind of happening in front of us here, and I really hope that chain actually unkinks itself. Alright, there we go. After a little bit of fighting with it and using my lift, I have finally extended the chain. Now, the only problem now is the weight is clearly just a huge mess right now when it comes to stability. So, you know what, I'm not even going to try and stop that. But look at that, guys. We have helium trapped to a chain now, so, I mean, I don't know what I could ever do with that, but I was just doing it to kind of test the mechanics of something like a balloon over here. But you know what? I'm going to make a little tiny house, because you know what rises up into the air, right? It's a little house. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's do this, and then we're going to check it out. Alright, so here it is, guys. This is what we are going to be sending off into space now. It's a little rudimentary, but maybe you recognize it. It is, in fact, a little miniature version of the house from up, and of course, guys, there are loads of balloons that are attached to the house to send it up into the atmosphere. So that's what we're going to try and do today. I have a whole bunch of these helium-filled balloons, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically weld as many of them as I possibly can to the sides and to the top of this little house here, and we are going to try our best to see if we can't get this thing to fly with the power of these balloons. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room to put enough of them on here, but I'm going to keep on spawning these guys, and we're going to try and send this house up. Alright, so this thing is starting to get pretty laggy now, but as you can see, I have a whole bunch of those helium balloons filled up, and they are welded to the thing, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this. You know what? I think what I'm going to do, guys, is we'll grab ourselves a little block right here. I don't know I don't know where I'm gonna sit exactly. Why don't we just try and maybe sit right here in the middle? I think that'll be a pretty good spot. I'm not too sure. And, you know what? Let's see if we can't launch this thing. Alright, so the trick here is going to be putting the Helium Activator onto this little creation and then trying to get into that seat as quick as I can. So, you know what if I just kind of sit right over top of it like this? We'll put the activator somewhere right about here, and then I'll look down and we'll go into the seat. So here we go, in 3, 2, 1, that, and that. The balloons are going up, and, it's not nearly enough. Okay, so you know what? They are floating, but I think we're gonna need at least a second activator here. So let's try this one more time. We're gonna pop it right there. Get into the seat. Okay, nope. This house is still not flying up into the air. Alright, let's just put another activator on it. No? Another one? Another one? Okay. I'm thinking... Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. We are starting to lift up off to the side here. Okay, we have no weight balance whatsoever. You know what? Let me just put one more on. And, oh, wow. Okay, so you know what? The balloons aren't pulling nearly as much as I thought they were going to. And I think that just has to do with the amount of helium blocks that I have actually put in to those things. So why don't we just get rid of one of those? Actually, you know what? No, scratch that. I just realized I didn't weld any balloons to this side of the creation. So why don't I actually do that first? Alright, so I've got even more balloons on this thing now. I have no idea if this is actually going to work or not. So I'm just going to start putting a whole bunch of these activators on again. Alright, so we'll put one there. Actually, you know what? I would like to actually keep these a little more hidden, you know what? So why don't we actually just put them maybe back here somewhere? Oh, man, I am lagging pretty good right now. Alright, there we go. The lag is gone because the balloons are now floating. A little bit more. Oh, boy. Another one. And still not floating. You know what? I'm thinking, actually, I have a bit of an idea here, guys. Why don't we just fill the interior of this house with some of these helium blocks? Maybe that'll help. Wow, this is a pretty heavy house. Maybe I should have used some smarter blocks here. Alright, so now there's a whole bunch of helium in there. I have a feeling if I add another activator, it might start to float. Oh, it's getting there. Another one. Okay, I'm gonna get into the seat. And there we go, guys. Okay, the house is now going up. It's going up very slowly. You can clearly see we are barely floating, but man, it's working. The helium actually works, guys. Look at this. We have the house from up, and we are slowly floating away. But you know what, guys? I might actually just kind of save this on a lift and put it on the workshop if you guys want to check this thing out. And I also just want to actually launch it up into space, you know what I mean? Without actually having to be stuck on it. So why don't we just put another couple activators on it. There it goes. Alright. This might really kill the game, actually. I didn't think of this. Once that hits the skybox, I might be destroying this game. But that is now gone. So why don't we check out the hot air balloon? Oh, yeah. So I was just about to look at this, and the house from up has definitely just reached the skybox, guys. My FPS is tanking, so I'm going to make a new world, and we are going to check out the hot air balloon there. Alright, so I've spawned into a new world, and this here is the hot air balloon, guys. So if you are wondering about the actual balloon itself, that is from the Lord Payne Interactive Parts mod. It is an absolutely fantastic mod, because this balloon, you can adjust the size of it. If you wanted to make a bigger one or a smaller one, it's really up to you. But so what I've done here, of course, guys, is I've set up a little basket down here on the bottom. We've got some pipe pieces and stuff that lead up to the balloon, and that is, of course, where it is mounted. So you can kind of see there are some helium blocks right there, but you might not really have an appreciation for what is actually going on in here. So let's just go through the balloon, and there we go, guys. Now you can see just how much helium is actually inside of this thing. So you can see that this is the amount of helium required to balance the weight of this little carriage down here. And I think maybe the weight of the helium itself, I'm assuming, obviously, that the blocks aren't zero gravity, but you can see that this is, in fact, just kind of floating along the top of the ground here. And all we have to do, guys, is get inside, and I have two switches, and it's literally one goes down and two goes up, and then if you turn both of them off, then of course you will eventually just stagnate in your buoyancy, and you will just kind of reach a state of sitting still. But you can, of course, steer this thing. If we press A and D, we can steer left and right with this hot air balloon. And if you press W, you'll go forward with some thrusters. So we have to be very careful, though. I am not really paying attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. Now, this thing is actually so much fun to fly around because you can see, look at it wobbling around. When I press W to go forward, you can see just the way the helium is really trying to counteract all of these forces. But nonetheless, guys, this is just so much fun. And I gotta say, this was super easy to make. So before these mods were coming out, if I wanted to make something like this, I would have spent hours possibly balancing thrusters, getting it to work properly. And even then, though, I still don't think I would be 100% satisfied with the outcome. But with this mod, it's so easy to set something up, and you just throw a couple thrusters on it for directional control or whatever it might be, and you are just laughing. And this thing is just so much fun to float around in. I mean, it's definitely probably a lot faster to turn and control than a real one. I mean, look at this, guys. We can do some crazy aerial spinning maneuvers. It's just ridiculous. So there is one more thing, though, that I wanted to make using this mod, guys. So bear with me. I'm going to build one more quick thing. It is going to be totally worth it. Alright, so there it is, guys. This is the last thing I'll be building in this video, and if you don't recognize what it is, I'll give it away because no one's gonna guess it, but this is a Bozo the Clown. This is like a clown that you would punch, and no matter what you did, it would always bounce back up, and it would always be ready for more. So I'm thinking, hopefully I might actually be able to make something here with some of this helium. So let's put that there like that. Now, I'm not too sure where I want to put the activator. You know what, actually? What if we put it right on the bottom here? Now, I'm wondering, though. I don't know if this is going to actually float away or not. Okay, it's definitely not doing anything at all. So what I might try and do then, actually, is see how there's helium inside of it. I might try and change the balance of how much helium versus how many activators there are, and hopefully that might actually work. Alright, so I just realized it's going to be way too heavy, especially with the amount of helium I could put on the inside there, but you can see we can definitely kind of punch it around, but I'm going to remake this really fast with extra light polygons. Alright, so now I've got one of these Bozo clowns that is set up with the extra light polygons, so hopefully this will be light enough, guys. So we're going to just kind of pop this down here, and I guess it falls over just for us, just like that. So let's put a couple of those in there. And one activator. Okay, there is an activator down in the bottom there, actually. So let's just focus on... Oh, okay, look at that. Did you see that? It was actually going up. So let's put 3. Is that enough? And it might be... Okay, you know what? It's not quite enough here, guys. Let's get rid of those. And we're going to pretty much just have to fill this whole thing up, I think. Okay, geez, I almost just let it float away. So what I'm thinking then is this might actually be a good way to do it, is I'll add some extra weight at the bottom. Alright, so here is the finished product of Bozo the Clown, guys. It's the clown that you can keep on punching, and he keeps on getting up again. Look at this. We can shoot him with our spud gun, and look at that. He just keeps on bouncing up. It doesn't matter what we do, guys. He just always wants to keep on fighting. Now, the hammer is a little bit of a different story. The hammer can actually launch him away pretty far, but you know what? Despite the fact that we're smashing this little clown around, look at that. He just gets back up, and he wants to keep on fighting for more. So that is going to be the video for today, guys. I sure hope you did enjoy these builds and you enjoyed me playing around with this mod a little bit, and this clown is starting to really creep me out. But guys, if you want to see more of this endless scrap mechanic, then make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, maybe even turn on notifications so you get the latest and the craziest coming from me in scrap mechanic, then that will definitely be great for you. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, so bye for now.